Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Danielle, if you don't know me. I look kind of crazy right now, but I just curled my hair and now I'm going to do my makeup. I thought today I could just film a little get ready with me while I get ready and talk to you guys and tell you guys more about myself and just have a little chat. So I already prepped my skin, so I'm just gonna get into it. Starting with some primer. So my name's Danielle, if you don't know me. I'm 24, I'm from Oregon, and I grew up here in Oregon, and I still live with my parents right now. I went off and went to college. I went to Oregon State University, got my degree and everything, and now I'm back living at home. But I do have like plans to move out eventually. My goal is honestly to move by June, but I'm not gonna say where yet. That is my goal. And the reason I want to move is because just like where I'm from, there's just like very little to do and like honestly like opportunity for like the types of things I want to do. So that's kind of just what it comes down to. And it's either you can settle and not do what you want to do, or you have to relocate to do what you want to do. So that's kind of what's going on. But I honestly have loved living at home. Again, I think it's like really strengthened my relationship with both my parents, and like just now that I'm just like older and stuff, like I just feel like our relationships have just grown and like are just different, you know, from when you're a kid. Like, I mean, I've always had a good relationship with my parents, but it's just different now that I'm older. I'm really grateful that I've had this time to like spend with my parents, and it's just been me. Like, I have 2 siblings, but it's just been me living at home, and so like we've just gotten really close, so that's been nice. And family is like super important to me. I love my family, so it's just been really nice to like have this time together before moving away, instead of just like moving straight from college or whatever. I think I was meant to like have this time with them before, you know, moving off on my own. So I don't regret it, and I don't think like you always have to be in a rush to move away. I know there's all this pressure to like be like doing all these great things at like such a young age, but like obviously I want to go and do things for myself. But it's been really nice to like have this time to spend with my family. So just doing my foundation now. The reason I want to eventually move is just to like pursue things that I want to pursue that I can't really around here. I just finished watching Love Island season 1. No, Love Island All-Stars season 1. And I watched season 2 when it came out, but I never watched season 1. And I watched Tom's season, like Tom and Casey, like whatever season that was like season 9 or something, or 7, I have no idea. Whatever season they were on, I had watched, so I knew Tom, like Tom and Sammy, like I love Tom, so and I always watch like Molly's vlogs with him in them. I never watched Molly's season, and I also never watched the All-Star season 1 where they get together. So I finally went and watched it, and I didn't have work this past week, so that's like literally all I did was watch this Love Island, because obviously, you know, there's so many episodes on Love Island. Anyways, I was watching it so much that I was like dreaming about that, which I feel like is not like that's so bad. Like usually I don't even have the time to like do things like that, like just sit and watch so many episodes, but I had the week off, so that's just kind of what ended up happening. Anyways, it was a really good season, the first season of Love Island, I would say, or Love Island All-Stars. I would say it was better than the second season, but also that's because I love Molly and Tom together. And then all the stuff with Callum and Georgia Steele, so good. If you haven't watched it, you should really watch it. I think it's honestly one of the best seasons of Love Island. I haven't seen every season of Love Island. When I was in college, my senior year of college, I watched whatever season Tom's season was, Tom and Casey and all them, and that season was really good too. But I would always watch it like when I was sewing, because if you didn't know, I was an apparel design major, so I was sewing a ton, especially senior year, making my senior collection. So I would just throw that on the TV because there were so many episodes, and then I would just sew away. It's also funny because like Molly May from Love Island, I like found her on social media first before like watching her season. Like her season had already come out, and like everyone that I watched was like always talking about her, and I'm like, so then I started watching her YouTube channel, and I love her YouTube channel. I still watch her YouTube channel to this day, but that was like years ago when I like, you know, obviously when she was on Love Island, that was years ago. Anyway, so then I had to go back and watch her season with Tommy Fury and all them. That was a good season too, but that was like years ago when I watched it. But and then she had like a documentary come out on Prime. I don't think like the second half has come out yet, or at least I haven't seen it. I watched the first half, but I really love Molly May. I like love all these people from Love Island. I never even watched Love Island USA. I only really watch Love Island UK. I just feel like it's superior. It's honestly more interesting, like because of their accents or something, and just the way they talk and the way they are, like it's like so much more interesting to watch than the USA version. Well, actually I haven't seen, I like watched like, I think like the first episode of the first season of Love Island USA, and it's just like, it doesn't hit the same. It's just not the same. Like if I were to go on Love Island, I would want to go on Love Island UK. I just feel like, I don't know, something about it. So if you didn't know, I've been kind of on like my fitness journey, just like trying to get in a little bit of better shape. Like my goals have mostly been like fat loss rather than just like weight loss overall, and just like building muscle and just being like leaner is honestly like what I would prefer. Not only to be like stronger and more fit, more athletic, but as well as like just like aesthetics. Like I really want to like look in the mirror and like love how I look, you know what I mean? And not that I necessarily like hate how I look at all, but or how I looked before, but I just wanted to like, you know, build up my confidence, and also just really truly be leaner. And I really think like I'd never ate enough protein to like have the kind of muscle to look the way like I wanted to look, you know what I mean? So I've learned a ton of just like by doing my own research and like learning from other people. I've learned a ton. Honestly, it's like been life-changing. Not only like has my physique changed, but it's like I feel so much better and healthier. Overall, it's getting into better shape and being like healthier is just life-changing in general. So I'm really glad to have like been doing this, but it truly takes like so much like dedication and hard work. So I kind of wanted to talk about like tips for staying motivated, tips for like getting started on your fitness journey. And obviously like I'm no expert, like I've just been figuring this out for myself, but I feel like I've really learned how to like be dedicated to something and work hard towards my goal. When it comes to like fitness and like losing weight or losing fat or whatever, like it is something you have to like wake up every day and choose. And I'm gonna be honest, like starting that kind of journey, like fitness journey probably isn't gonna be linear. You're gonna have times where you're really on track hitting your goals, and then there's gonna be times where you kind of fall off and you just have to get back on. But truly it just like takes starting and educating yourself about like how to actually do it. Whatever your goal is, to gain weight, to lose weight, to build up muscle, like all those kinds of things, you just have to educate yourself on how to do it instead of just like trying to guess. Then it won't ever actually happen if you're not like truly doing it how it has to be done. So for like weight loss, for example, you have to be eating in a calorie deficit. Like it's definitely more about what you're eating versus what you're eating and like the calories you're eating versus how much you work out. Like obviously working out is an added, but it's not like, it's not gonna fully get you there on your own. I mean, and I say that because like if you don't ever work out and then you start working out, like that will probably help you lose weight, but it probably won't be able to just do that, is what I mean. I mean, I think doing calorie deficit and working out that's how I did it, how I've been able to like lose fat. And I'm not fully like at my goal yet. It's still something I'm working on, but like I've definitely seen so much progress, and like I'm feeling really good about where I'm going. So what I've done personally is calorie deficit and then eating higher amount of protein. So I like feel like I barely ate protein growing up, and that's why I wasn't lean, because even though I was doing things that would build you muscle I grew up doing dance, I just didn't eat enough protein to ever like actually build any muscle, or enough protein at least. So anyways, now my goal is always like at least 80 grams of protein. I know a lot of people say to like eat your body weight goal, but that's more than I've been able to do. I think at least 80 is like achievable for me, and it's worked for me, and I've been able to like build muscle or keep my muscle without having to eat so much protein, because I'm eating in a calorie deficit, but I'm focusing on my protein. Also, eating fiber is super important. Drinking a ton of water. I mean, I'm just like also a person who never drank water. Growing up, I had 2 different times I had kidney stones because I just, like, there was definitely days like where I probably didn't drink a single sip of water, and I was going to dance for like 4 hours a night. I don't know how I wasn't drinking water. Like, what was I doing there? I have no idea. I have like a big Stanley cup, and I'll drink like 2 of those a day. And then something that's been huge for me is just walking more. I have a Fitbit and I track all my steps, and my goal has been 10,000 steps every day. Honestly, if you're just consistent with that, like, you will definitely see a difference. Like, that has been such a big thing for me for weight loss, like doing those steps. At first it'll be like, why am I doing this? But then once you do it for a while and you're consistent, you'll start to see progress, and then that'll motivate you to keep going. So it truly is just like, just start being consistent. You'll start seeing results, and then those results will motivate you to keep going. That's truly how it's been for me. You just have to find something, a form of exercise that you can get yourself to do often and consistently. I think walking is just like the easiest thing for everyone to do, but I also love to weightlift. You won't build muscle from just walking, but if you're like weightlifting or doing Pilates or just like some sort of movement, physical exercise, like it also depends on what your goals are, but you will start to see progress as long as like you're consistent. And you'll have days where you fall off and it doesn't go how you want. Go to bed, wake up in the morning, and just start again. Like, one day isn't gonna completely throw you off and ruin it, but you can totally do something like 75 hard, like some sort of like exercise challenge to get you into it, get you started. That can be a good motivator, and then once it's over, you've learned these things, you've gotten all this progress, and then you can keep going on your own and do what works for you. And I really think like once you get started and you start doing it consistently, then it'll just become a habit rather than being something that you dread doing every day. But I also think like finding some sort of physical activity that you actually just enjoy doing, and maybe some days you won't feel like doing it, but if you just make yourself do it, you'll get those endorphins after, and you'll feel so glad that you did it. I've never heard anyone ever say they regretted doing a workout. It's always you regret not doing it. So you kind of have to push yourself if it's something you're not doing, or you know, if it's the eating thing. It's gonna be hard at first if you're eating in a calorie deficit. Eating in a calorie deficit, at first you're gonna feel hungry and it's gonna feel, it's gonna feel hard. But then I swear, like, after you do it for a few weeks, it'll just be like habit, and then your taste buds change anyways, and you won't crave all the sugary, like, unhealthy stuff. And you don't have to fully cut that stuff out. You just have to kind of do like an 80-20 kind of thing, where 80% of the time you're eating the right stuff. I don't necessarily want to say eating good. Like, there's not like good and bad foods, and like there's unhealthy foods that are also like low calorie. I mean, not a lot, but you can find lower calorie options that aren't necessarily healthy, but that you can eat that will help keep you in your calorie deficit. So you kind of just have to find what works for you, and it's gonna take trial and error. And it's honestly like, you're not gonna be able to do it quick. It's not gonna be, if you're doing it quick, then it's gonna be a crash diet and you won't be able to stay consistent with it. So you truly just have to find what works for you, and that's gonna take time and energy, but it'll be so worth it in the end because you'll get the results you want. Anyways, I'm not a professional, but that type of stuff has just worked for me, and just, you really just have to push yourself to keep going every day until it becomes a habit. Like, it's truly become a habit for me, and like my taste buds have changed. I still eat like unhealthy stuff part of the time, but it's really just like, it's gotta be part of the time. It can't be all the time. Anyways, if you want me to make like a whole video on that where I go more in depth, I can, but I just kind of wanted to give a little spiel about that. If you've just been needing motivation, like, you can do it. You can always work harder than you think you can. You think that there's gonna be days where you think you can't do it, or it's gonna be like extra hard. It truly is like mind over matter. You can do it. I'm not really sure how I come off in these videos, like if I come off as like a really talkative person or not. Sorry, my camera just died, but hopefully it's good now. So I was saying, I'm not sure how I come off like in my videos, so I feel like I might come across differently than I might like in real life. Or in person, I mean, because this is real life. But I feel like I would describe myself as like an outgoing introvert. And I say I'm an introvert because I'm very independent. I do enjoy my alone time. I'm not a person who like always needs to be surrounded by people. Sorry, it's hard to talk and do eyeliner, oh my gosh. I'm definitely more of a like listener and a think before I speak type of person. And I really enjoy like my alone time, but also I do love a good get together, a party. I love being around people and meeting new people. So it's more like I think before I speak or before I act, but I enjoy being around people and like having interactions and like being out of my house. Then like afterwards, I do need that time to like go home and recharge before doing it again. That's why like I know I would be fine if like I lived alone, because I like to do my own thing. I like being independent. I like things to like be kind of a certain way, but at the same time, like I would also not mind living with people, because then I have that, then you can be interacting with people more often. Like I don't need to like be secluded, if that makes sense. And like when I'm around people, I am outgoing, I am talkative. Like with my friends, I talk a lot. When I'm meeting someone new, like I kind of got to get to know you for a sec before I fully warm up. But it's also like, then I don't have like a problem talking to strangers, like people I'm never gonna see again. I think it's kind of more like if I'm building a new friendship, I kind of want to put my best foot forward. And so then I'm gonna maybe come off like a little bit more quiet. That goes away pretty fast. I feel like I can warm up to people pretty quickly. I feel like once they like let me in and show me who they are, then I can do the same. And we're chill, if that makes any sense. Since I'm doing my eyebrows, I feel like I'm just really not into those like feathered eyebrows. I feel like they're not as like in as they were. But like I've tried it where you kind of just like gel your eyebrows like this, like straight up. I feel like it really doesn't suit anybody. I'm not saying I think, like I don't think people look necessarily bad when I see them doing that. I just think if you just brush up the front and then the rest fans out normal. I think most people's eyebrows are just more suited to look like that than with the whole feathered out situation. No hate, I'm just sharing my opinion. I really want to go to like an outdoor country concert this summer. I feel like I have so many good outfits for that situation, but I don't have any plans. Also with like Coachella happening and Stagecoach happening, it's just like making me want to go to a concert. My favorite type of music is definitely country music, but I feel like I didn't really truly get into it until like college. But something about me is like I'm not like obsessed with like just certain artists, like follow these certain people. I'm just more of like a song type person. Like if I like your song, then I like your song. Like I don't know, like I like a range of different artists because I like their songs, but I'm not really one to like sit and wait for like a new album to drop. Once it drops, I'm like listening to the whole album. Like I have definitely done that a couple times. I don't know, like I love music. I truly do, like, so much. Not really the type of person who like idolizes certain famous people and like is like super obsessed. I like the songs on my playlist. Like if I like your song, it'll go on my playlist, but it's not really about you. Like it's like the artist, it's like about the song. I feel like I didn't describe that very good, but I just feel like I know a lot of people who are just like crazy about certain artists, and no matter the song. But I also like, I don't know, it's like indie pop, all kind of music. That's like what I always kind of listened to in high school. Just like really like emotional, sad, like like lyrical songs. Because growing up, my favorite style of dance was lyrical, which is like the kind of, and those are the kind of songs you dance to with lyrical. I think like Gracie Abrams, Adele, like Sam Smith in his early days. I don't know. Hopefully you're catching my vibe on like what kind of music I'm talking about, but I used to always listen to that. Now I kind of try to not always just listen to that. I still do occasionally, but I probably listen to country more now. I think like the type of content you consume, whether that's music or TV shows or whatever, like kind of truly changes your perception or like controls your outlook. Or like podcasts. Like if you're listening to podcasts and it's like just a really negative narrative all the time, like that's just not really good for you, and it'll put you kind of in a negative, give you a negative outlook on life. So that's kind of why I try not to listen to like all the sad music all the time anymore. Even if you think it's not affecting you, it is. It's putting you in like a sad mindset or like a negative, depressive mindset. I think it's important to be like conscious of like the type of things you consume. And that's like why I don't watch like horror movies, because I'm a really paranoid person. That'll just put me like in such a bad mindset. And I feel like I'm not like easily affected by things. Like I let things roll off my shoulder or whatever, but sometimes it's not good for you to like always consume negative stuff. And I really try to be a person that like always has a positive outlook, like always looks to the bright side, always tries to look in like other people or walk in other people's shoes to like get their perception. Not saying I'm like perfect or like completely unfree from like being judgmental, because like sometimes you just find yourself doing that, but I think if you constantly force yourself to have more of a positive mindset and try to look on the bright side, you end up being a happier person, because then you're thinking, oh, look at all I have to be grateful for, look at all of these good things that happen, rather than just focusing on like the one bad thing that happened, even though, you know, it's easier said than done, because a lot of the times negative things are easier to set your mind on than positive things. But I think if you just start by every day by trying to have a more positive mindset and think happy thoughts and things like that, it will truly, like, it'll end up changing your whole mindset overall. So I hope you took something positive away from that, and that any advice I just gave made any sort of sense. I really just wanted to make this channel to be, one, something positive in someone's day, whoever watches. I also like want to come across just happy and giving, like, spreading happiness. And also just being able to share my life and like document my life. Building confidence, being not afraid of like what other people think of you because of what you're sharing is kind of why I'm like making these videos, but also to document my life. And it's like always fun for something to look back on. Anyways, so now I'm going to set my makeup. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.